Thank you, Dr. Becker. So you can all hear me, right? Okay, so my name is Sara Nagy, and actually, I'm originally an engineer who shifted career to education long time back, with over now 15 years of experience in the field of education. And since I had that shift in career, I had a passion about professional development for educators, became internationally certified by Cambridge as a trainer. And at the same time, during the journey, I became the professional development director for Campus 51, which is an edtech platform that offers all educators opportunities for upskilling and career growth through programs that are internationally certified to become internationally certified as educators and recognized globally, programs, workshops, courses, and so on. And since we're talking about AI today, actually the point is Campus 51 is integrating also AI within the platforms where educators can learn from each other, have the opportunity to have workshops and courses and programs, and at the same time have that collaborative environment from anywhere around the world. So this is briefly what I do. And because of the dramatic change and the rapid change that happened since COVID, with this diverse group with you. So the agenda for today is we're going to discuss the challenges and the ethical considerations that we fear as educators when using AI. And we're going to explore the potential and benefits for using AI in terms of students and teachers or educators in general and professionals. And we're going to talk about some strategies how to overcome the challenges of implementing AI. And this is what we usually have as educators, and whenever I meet a lot of educators, the teacher point of view versus the students' point of view. So as educators, we have that fear of change. And as children and students now, what they are doing is they are experimenting the use of AI in all their work, in all the assignments, and they are upskilling and going way, way faster than we can imagine. So the fears that we have as educators, and this is what most of us have, the first thing that we have is the job displacement. Is AI going to replace my job as an educator or as a professional? Will they do the job because they can do things automated now, automated tasks that teachers used to do and currently doing? So does that mean that they will replace us as educators? So this is the first fear. We fear the loss of human connection, that connection between us and our students. And we fear the over-reliance of technology, that fear of over-dependence of our learners on the AI, where it might hinder their development of critical thinking and creativity and so on. And mostly we feel that it's a taboo. We don't know what it is and how to utilize it yet. So we feel it might overwhelm us and have like a lot of workloads there if we use the AI, in terms of we will need to have a lot of professional development and training to utilize these AI tools. So this is how educators actually look at the use of AI. Not all educators. It's fine that we have that fear of change, yet it's a must to cope with the rapid change in the educational landscape. So I'll just share a small video, short video, which is going to talk about the how to use the AI into the teaching and learning. And I want you to listen to the perspective of the children about using AI, and the perspective of teachers about using AI now, and then we'll get back and reflect on that. So let me share the screen. Stop sharing this.
These fifth grade students might look like they're doing an average writing assignment.
Ooh, what do you think?
But their prompt wasn't created by their teacher. Instead, they chose from 10 different options generated in seconds by ChatGPT, an artificially intelligent chatbot.
Like every other educator, I had that concern. Is this something that students are only going to use to cheat? So I started to think about, like, okay, what role is AI, artificial intelligence, going to play in the classroom?
Kentucky Teacher of the Year Donnie Piercy let us peek inside his Lexington fifth grade class, where they utilize ChatGPT in a number of ways, from grammar exercises like Find the Bot, where students have to guess which paragraph was written by ChatGPT versus their classmates.
These jump out as like, ooh, I'm pretty sure it's not that one.
For the second one, because they put invention plethora of inventions. They should have put a plethora.
Oh,
They made a
interesting catch.
To reading exercises through personalized plays generated in seconds by the program.
In a typical fifth grade classroom, the door bursts open and a superhero named Super Potato bursts in.
Fear not, citizen, Super Potato is here to save the day.
So the big thing that I've looked for as a teacher over the last 17 years is what things can I bring into my lessons that inspires my students to be creative. With AI, with ChatGPT, I've always looked for a way that I can use this tool to inspire my students to become better students, to really master content.
Many of his students think of it as something that's here to stay.
So if it keeps on expanding, that's basically typical for what this generation is doing right now. I feel like it could evolve a lot over time.
If you keep AI like safe, going to be really helpful.
And it's not just elementary school. Across the country in Oregon, mother and son teachers Tobin and Sherry Shields utilize it at the high school and collegiate level.
Is going to make our educational system more accurate, and it's going to make it more interesting and more accessible and more creative, where I think a lot of educators think it's going to do the opposite.
Sherry, an educator of 30 years, penning an opinion piece for Education Week titled, "Don't Ban ChatGPT. Use it as a teaching tool."
I do think employers in the future are going to be asking employees to work with AI. It's just a life skill that we are going to have to perpetuate forward if we want our students to be viable in the workplace.
Build your website today with GoDaddy Web Hosting Plan.
Okay, so the point is, how are we going to utilize AI into the teaching and the learning? All our concerns, whenever we talk about ChatGPT, for example, is our students are going to cheat. The ChatGPT is going to do assignments, rather than we are thinking of how to utilize these tools into our own benefit, where we can focus more on enhancing the skills of our learners. So let me reshare again. So the point is, it's okay to feel the fear, and we don't need to be ashamed of that fear of change. I usually use this like, don't be ashamed by your story, because it's going to inspire others. So it's also, don't be ashamed by having that fear of facing the rapid change, where we need to have that growth mindset and have a huge change. It's just important to note that AI is not meant to replace teachers. It's just a tool that we need to utilize in our own benefit. Okay, and this could happen if we just don't fear it, face it, and go ahead for the change. And this is how we are going to leverage the AI in education. So this is a myth about just teachers feeling that they are going to be replaced by the AI. It's completely the opposite. Using a lot of AI tools now helps teachers to minimize the workload. It helps you in preparing your lesson plans. It helps you to tailor different activities inside your classrooms to cater for individual differences. Also, it helps you to do these differentiated assignments and tasks based on the needs of the students, and integrating of gamification and immediate feedback, because at the end of the day, we need to cope with the Gen Z and the requirements. They are different. They are completely different to the past era where we used to teach our students. And that will allow us, when we have that workload taken off our shoulder, so that will allow us to focus more on the higher order thinking skills. So in the past video, where the teacher focused on how they will spot the mistakes and how they will spot which is generated by an AI. So this is one of the higher order thinking skills, where students are able now to evaluate the work, to know what's wrong with the work, to identify the mistakes, set actions based on this, can provide feedback accordingly. So we're working on higher thinking skills, rather than we're just the source of information. We need to do this the same way as we used to do it before. And that will make us focus on the learner's empowerment, because it's all about ownership, and that they have that ownership for their learning, feel empowered, feel that they have a voice for choice, and at the same time, having a lot of time to work on building that relationship with your learners. One of the most interesting topics, because it's pretty much related to my field as a professional development director, is empowering educators themselves through AI. So one of the things that I would love to share with you today is one of the AI tools that was launched by Harvard University. It's called Empowering Educators. And this is for professional development. As educators, we have some observations, people who mentor us, people who coach us inside the school. But now there is an AI developed tool where you can record your session, upload the session, and what you will have is a data that will be provided with you in terms of, for example, how much talk did you do versus the student talk, or how much time did you invest in using a growth mindset language inside your classroom on that day. Or, for example, how did you approach this activity with your students, and how did you provide feedback? This is extremely private, because it works at the end of the day. You will upload it, you will get such a data, and based on this, you can set your action plan, and then you can share it with a mentor and you work on common goals. So this is very, very useful for all educators. As much as definitely we like the interaction with the other mentors and coaches and so on. Yet this is how we can measure even progress ongoing, and a lot of statistics showed that a lot of transformation had happened to teachers' practices when they started having that self-reflection based on the data that was already gathered. So to wrap this up, actually, the point is AI is an amazing tool. It's the point is how to use it and how to utilize it as an educator for your professional growth, and as an educator for your students' learning, and as a teacher. While using different AI tools, there are several AI tools. The most important thing is the prompts. What prompts do you put to the chat GPT, for example, in order to get a good output? So I have like kids working on writing assignments, for example, and essays. And what they do is they build up their essay, they finish their essay, and then they put it on the chat GPT for review for the structure. For example, is it clear enough to the reader? Do we need to put another input within this essay, the punctuation or the grammar? And when students are provided with such a feedback, they build up on that feedback. So that doesn't mean that they are cheating. There is a huge difference, yet it's a matter of a transition period for educators and learners to explore together how to use it effectively and how to utilize it effectively inside the classroom. I'm open now I'm waiting for your questions or anything that you want to discuss further in that area. I'll be glad to respond to any questions. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. Now it's time for the interaction. I request all dear participants for your queries. Please come ahead and discuss with keynote speaker, Honorable Sara ma'am. Dear participants. Vikram Patel have raised hand. Please ask, sir. Vikram Patel, sir.
One second, sir.
Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar, sir. And I think it's a good afternoon for you there at Egypt, and wonderful presentation you have made in AI for AI. And definitely it is one of the boon what we can say for teachers also, as well as for the students also. Google was there, but the thing was we had to make a lot of search over there. Now here we are getting a ready-made search, that is how we have to just put a concept or some inputs, and we are getting enough material for our thinking. Yeah, as an advantage is definitely it will reduce our work time, and it will help in improving our English and structured English and so many things what we can go with. My question is, can we make tabulations, tables, where the artificial intelligence will be there, and they'll make a new table, not just the inputs what we are giving, the columns and the rows what we are headers we are putting, but it will make a better tabulation than what we are thinking. So whether it is possible like that, because I can prepare PPT, I know, but I have not tried with the tabulations. Yesterday I was night tired. I was trying with the AI, but I failed to do that. So please put a light on this aspect. Otherwise, wonderful presentation you have made, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Can you elaborate more on the tabulation itself? How did it work for you?
Yeah. So I'm having some columns like, we are having teaching hours and non-teaching hours in a medical college. And non-teaching means we are going with DOPS and DEPS, the direct observational studies, and, the experiential studies and observational studies, and then OSCE and OSPE. And then we are having debate mode, we are having seminars. So I want to give some hours for that, prior to the like a teaching plan what we are doing, but it is not only for the lecture hours and the practical clinicals what we are going with, but it should be there for this kind of activities also. So I'm having near about 12 columns, and I'm having means the first, second, third, fourth, 4 years are there, and every year we are having at least 5 to 10 subjects. So for every subject I have to prepare this. So I was taking help of AI, but I could not do that. So if you can suggest one, some kind of tool. And yes, one tool I got, but they were asking too much heavy for me. Okay. So that any other free tools are there, like ChatGPT is doing a wonderful job. So can you suggest? Thank you very much.
Sure. There is one which is called a QueryPod. I'm not sure if you heard about that. And there is one which is the AI Organizer. And there's something else that just popped to my mind when you were talking about the practical part, where AI can generate different simulations for even learners. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty much focused on learners from my perspective. So there are some tools. I can put that in the chat box, and you can go through them after we finish.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for your suggestions.
Sure, you're welcome.
In AI, ma'am, I'm Dr. Pagare from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Model University Department of Education, Sambhajinagar. Just I'm asking, I'm in AI in continuously, but there are some regard statistics. How can you communicate our multi?
Just a second. I'm sorry, but the connection is lagging. So can you repeat the question?
Sir, we are not getting your voice clearly. Please, repeat again.
No problem.
Yes.
Ma'am, I am trying to AI many times, but there are statistical calculation not appropriate to give the result. Second thing, in my class, heterogeneous group, but they don't accept some languages. So what to do that time?
You have the Duolingo, for example, that is going to help with several languages while using AI. This is one of the most famous tools that can be used in the classroom with several languages over there. If I got your question correctly.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Shyam Suresh, sir. Please ask, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. You just suggested us that using Duolingo app. I am using this app and I am learning German language, ma'am. So I'm very happy for your nice presentation. My question is, what are the do's and don'ts while using artificial intelligence in the classroom?
Okay, so the do's and don'ts is as follows. The point is how teachers are going to model using the AI inside the classroom and how to utilize it. And the point is not talking about the AI in terms of it's a cheating tool. Yet when launching that inside a classroom, whether it's since early stages to higher education, usually we put such a presentation about talking of how to utilize the AI, and then we go together, discover different tools, and along the way, what we do is we integrate some of these tools, and later on stage, they have a voice and choice of what to use and what not to use while implementing that inside the classroom with any of the educators. We are in a transition period for sure. A lot of the do's and don'ts are not listed clearly at the moment. But what we know is we need to go around it, and we need to utilize it very, very well inside the classroom. And we need to train our students on how to use it. And this is why I picked that video of making the students evaluate AI and feel that they are more empowered and more knowledgeable and have the skills even to spot the mistakes from any generated AI tool. And the role of an educator in this phase is just to facilitate the learning, to support the students, to empower the students, rather than teach them what to do exactly.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. My another question is how to decide AI is giving correct information. I know AI answer is most accurate and scientific, but how to decide it is giving us correct information? Please guide us.
Okay, so I'll put that in the chat box too. There is a framework now for the use of AI inside the classroom with the most reliable and valid tools that you can use in order to make sure that the information is correct. Yet, one of the most effective things or the most important things is to keep on evaluating the sources of information that is provided from AI. And that's not you as a teacher. That's a skill that we need to embed for our learners. But I'll post that too in the chat box.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from the participants?
Good evening, all participants. Thank you, Principal Dr. M. Bedkar, sir.
Hello.
Prashant ji, sir. Hello.
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 Sir, my one question.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Sir, how we know AI tools in education free of cost? Please share artificial intelligence AI tools list. So I request to Madam.
I'm sorry that I didn't get the question. Can you repeat it, please?
Repeat, ma'am.
The chat GPT, the chat GPT and the Bard, definitely on the Google, and you have a lot of now of gamification tools that already integrated the AI, like Quizzes and Kahoot, and for example, you have the Edpuzzle and the Flipgrid, where all of these can help you throughout preparing any of the content or any of the activities or the differentiated questioning techniques that can be used inside the classroom. They are all free.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, my question.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
AI learning, teaching, processing in teacher. Hello, madam.
Hello.
AI learning, teaching in processing teacher.
AI learning teacher? What do you mean by learning teacher?
Processing and teaching. Teacher.
You mean the AI used for the teachers?
Yes.
So as mentioned, it's used in a lot of aspects. It can prepare your lesson plans. It can have like automated tasks for your students where you check for understanding, and it's automatically graded, and you have statistics, a lot of statistics and data together to check the progress of your students. And the point is the measuring the progress ongoing of students and having that immediate feedback tools because they are fast as a Gen Z, and at the same time having a lot of gamification tool as what I mentioned now, where the AI is generated. So if, for example, let me give you an example. If you put some questions that you need to ask your students, you have that tab down with generate questions that goes with the same flow for what you have inputted. And you will find amazing things, yet you will still evaluate what you can take and what you will throw from the learning process. So, and that takes us back to the very first beginning of the session. Teachers are there, and AI is just a tool. We are there to support our learners and to support the teaching and the learning process by utilizing the AI effectively. So it's always going to go back to us, where we are going to utilize, evaluate, create, and even teach our students how to use these tools.
AI teaching learning process in teacher important, student important.
Yeah.
Important factor is student, teacher. AI teaching.
Sir, it is important for the students and teachers also. Ma'am have explained it nicely, clearly. If you have again any question, please ask. One more hand have raised. Katre Rajeshwar sir. If you want to ask, please, sir. So thank you so much, Dr. Swani Shukla sir, Honorable Prashant Pagare sir, then Sham Suresh Giri sir, Devidas Kendre sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. I have one question.
I have one question, ma'am. Hello.
Hello.
Kendre sir. Kendre sir.
Thank you so much, Sara ma'am. Topic is very good. Your presentation is wonderful and excellent. This is useful for us. Your lecture is a very informative, knowledgeable, and excellent session. I have one question, ma'am. What is the use of artificial intelligence in higher education?
Okay, so that's a huge thing, actually. And I'll talk from a perspective of an educator, and at the same time from a perspective of a mom now for that generation with my sons are in college and how they are utilizing it. So I'll talk from both perspectives. The point is, in higher education, it is used even more efficiently rather than in young learners, because as mentioned with the example of if you have, for example, an essay that you need to write and communicate something or an idea, and you are going to do this and then post it on the chat GPT for grammar, punctuation, and so on to structure the language itself as, for example, international students. And another thing is the simulations. A lot of simulations are being done now in the higher education using the AI, where you have that virtual tools around the world where you can write about them. even AI in, for example, business and finance. It's pretty much used these days in the development as a professor. I can develop a lot of case studies from all over the world using the AI, and the focus is not taking too much time to do this, rather than focusing on the teaching skills and teaching skills to my learners inside the session where we analyze this case study and so on. And sometimes you have these case studies developed and you put them on AI, where AI generate like business models or business solutions. And on the other hand, you give the solutions and the models to the students, where students will evaluate and then they will build their own. So the point is, put the AI as if AI is thinking in the box, because at the end of the day, it's generated by us. And put the students, on the other hand, in the phase of thinking out of the box. So they will have solutions of thinking through the AI. And now it's time to think critically, solve problems, and think out of the box to find these solutions.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Your explanation is wonderful and excellent. Thank you, Sara ma'am, and thank you, Prashanti. Thank you, Principal M.M. Bedkar sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I have one question regarding AI, use of AI for teachers and students. As we know that AI collects the data from websites and various sources, the data might be biased and the output might be wrong. What about that? How to regulate that? And another question is that the students, if they uses the AI, then what will happen? Their thinking capacity will reduce, and in future they will not be able to do thought experiments like Einstein, etc. What do you think about that?
I think it's about how we utilize it. It's not about, because at the end of the day, yes, it's used sometimes for cheating. But let's face it, cheating is there since the beginning, before the AI. If it's the point, it made it easier, though. Yet, this is why I'm telling you, we need to build that culture inside with our learners, in order to make sure that it is used correctly. It's not going to hinder their development of critical thinking, because, as mentioned, if I set like problems and case studies and things that they need to solve critically together, collaboratively, through the AI might generate solutions, but at the end of the day, I can give them these generated solutions where they can find things which are out of the box or out of the generated ones. It's now our role to teach our students that they are more knowledgeable, accurate, and they evaluative and reflective. And it's not about anymore the learning and the outcomes. It's about developing the learner's agency as a whole.
Do you think every nation should have a particular regulatory framework to use the AI in teaching and also for learning, so that it cannot be misused, and it should not be reduce the capacity of building of the student, or anything that will reduce the critical thinking or creativity? So I have the question is that if the AGI is used more and more, then what will happen about the future problems and solutions over that? Is the AI will be only used for that, or the human brain capacity will reduce? So I think about that. So what do you say about this?
So I'll ask you another question. Can you give me like an example of how do you see this might hinder? So what did you teach before, and you can see that it might be hindered by the use of AI?
So, for example, if I give a student to write a particular essay, so what will happen? He will start using the AI for example, Meta AI or WhatsApp. It is used there. So there are so many AI, you know that very well. But what will happen? He will copy that particular content and he will not think of his own. And that's why I think that it may be, it may be.
Definitely,
Yeah.
it's going to be plagiarized. Definitely, this is what I'm talking about. It's about how we need to teach them how to use it and when to use it. I might write a prompt because at the let me give you an example. So we tell our students that you are engineers. You put certain prompts to chat GPT, for example, in order to find the right output. So instead of telling the chat GPT, write an essay which is 600 words about blah, 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 just write down all the points that you are thinking and structuring in your head in order to be able to see how to sequence all these ideas. And then when it is generated, they take that essay, evaluate it, and they put their own input and own words. But the point is the ideas and the creativity was there, what was originally created by the learners. So instead of putting, so this is what we need to teach them, because the point is not having the chat GPT or the AI. The point is how we are going to use it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So thank you so much, Dr. Swami Shukla sir, Prashant Pagare sir, Shyam Suresh Giri sir, also Dr. Devidas Kendre sir, Vishnukat Amalpure sir, and at last Katre Rajeshwar sir for your excellent queries, and ma'am have explained it very well. So thank you once again. Now I request the chief organizer of an international conference, the ideal principal of Sri Kumar Swami Mahavidyalaya Hausa, Honorable Dr. M.M. Betkar sir. Please come sir and have a speech. Concluding words, please.
Thank you, Prashant Ugade sir, for complete organizing this speech, and we are very much thankful to our respected resource person Sara Nagy madam. The topic was so related to us that there was a huge question and answer as compared to every day, because everyone want to eager to know what are their difficulties, how they can be solved. As an expert, we have supported them and cleared their all the questions what they have asked. As you are a perfect AI tool handling resource person, you organize workshops and presentations, hands-on activities, collaborative discussions. So you are the expert of that field, and you are doing the work as a director of campus 51, and it was very useful to all. And your group discussions, your invitations, as your skills in this field, definitely useful to all teachers, those who are using this AI tool. And we are very much thankful to you that you have shared your knowledge to us, and it is very too much effectively presented so that everyone get understood about the AI. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And in future also you will again join as a resource person on another topic as per your preparation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be with you all, and thank you for inviting me, Dr. Betkar. Thank you so much.
Just wait for formal vote of thanks. Okay.
So thank you so much, Dr. Betkar sir, for your remarks and concluding words. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. As we know, all dear participants, we have organizing an international conference. It's a daily webinar. For today's session on the dais was Honorable Sara Nagy ma'am, who talked about the topic artificial intelligence in education, where madam have covered all the concepts, all the points regarding the topic. What do you mean artificial intelligence? How to use artificial intelligence in teaching? and how it should be used in education, how to empower educators with artificial intelligence, and the different role of the artificial intelligence in many educators as well as the students. And also madam have given many examples regarding the topic. So I'm very, very thankful to you, madam, for being with us and nicely explain the today's topic, artificial intelligence in education. So I'm very, very heartily thanks to you. I thank the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Dr. M. Bedkar sir, and also thanks Dr. Swani Shukla sir, Prashant Pagare sir, Sham Suresh Giri sir, Devidas Kendre sir, Vishnukant Amalpure sir, and Katre Rajeshwar sir for nicely discussing on the topic with keynote speaker. And I also thanks all these personalities I have seen today, Vishnukant Amalpure, Sangeeta Hingane ma'am, also Ujjwala Karwande sir, madam, Gopal Pawar sir, Surya Vyas sir, Kadri sir, then Anita Chaudhary ma'am, Rahul Chitrakar sir, then Ajit Wakre sir, Sher Singh sir, and Sayyid sir for your nice remarks in chat box and appreciation today's session. And I should not forget all those dear attendees. Today were, I think, 60 and above participants have joined to the series today. So many thanks all those dear attendees who joined today's session. And now I request you that everyone are ready to watch today's match. I think South Africa and India will be there within 2 minutes. And before that, early, our ma'am have completed her lecture. So I'm very, very thankful to you, madam. Again, we are expecting one more lecture or two for your the time which is you required, that time. So thank you so much, once and all again. Now I request please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So with the kind permission of chief organizer, I declare today's session is over. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Thank you.
No, sir, I will also join. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes.
जी सर